Hello, my name is Lark Orvick-Moore, and I'm happy to be reading to you today Dorothy Sayers' book, Whose Body? Dorothy Sayer was a very prolific mystery writer from the 1920s and 30s, and she wrote more than one book a year for over 15 years. In this book, Whose Body?, she introduces her favorite sleuth, the aristocrat, and you will hear more as we start today. Dorothy Sayers was born in 1893. She was an English crime writer and poet. She was also a student of classical and modern languages. She is best known for her mysteries, a series of novels and short stories set between the First and Second World Wars that feature an English aristocrat and amateur sleuth, Peter Wimsey, first introduced in the book Whose Body? She was very prolific and published more than a novel each year for 15 years during the 20s and the 30s. Now I will read Chapter 2 from Dorothy Sayers' Whose Body? Excellent, Bunter, said Lord Peter, sinking with a sigh into a luxurious armchair. I couldn't have done it better myself. The thought of the Dante makes my mouth water, and the four sons of Iman. And you saved me 60 pounds. That's glorious. What shall we spend it on, Bunter? Think of it. All ours to do with as we would like. Oh, as Harold Shockpool so rightly observes, 60 pounds saved is 60 pounds gained. And I'd reckoned on spending it all. It's your savings, Bunter, and properly speaking, your 60 pounds. What do you want? Anything in your department? Would you like anything altered in your flat? Well, my lord, as your lordship is so good, the manservant paused, about to pour an old brandy into a liqueur glass. Well, out with it, Bunter, you old hypocrite. It's no good talking as if you were announcing dinner. You're spoiling the brandy. The voice of Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. What does that blessed darkroom of yours want now? Well, there's a double astigmat and a set of supplementary lenses, my lord, said Bunter, with a note of almost religious fervor. If it were a case of forgery now, or fingerprints or footprints, I could enlarge them right on the plate. Or a wide-angle lens would be helpful. And the thought of a camera has eyes on the back of its head, my lord. Look, I've got it right here. And he pulled a catalog from the pocket and submitted it, quivering, to his employer. Lord Peter perused the description slowly, and the corners of his long mouth lifted into a faint smile. It's Greek to me, he said, and 50 pounds seems like a ridiculous price for a few bits of glass. I suppose, Bunter, you'd say 750 pounds is a bit out of the way for a dirty old book in a dead language, wouldn't you? Well, it wouldn't be my place to say so, my lord. No, Bunter, I pay you 200 pounds a year to keep your thoughts to yourself. Now tell me, Bunter, is there any democratic way for you to tell me if it's unfair? No, my lord. You don't. Do you mind telling me frankly why you don't think it's unfair? Frankly, my lord, your lordship is paid a nobleman's income to take Lady Worthington to dinner and refrain from exercising your lordship's undoubted powers of repartee. Lord Peter considered this. That's your idea, is it, Bunter? Noblesse oblige. For the consideration, I dare say you're right. Then you're better off than I am, because I have to behave myself to Lady Worthington if I hadn't had a penny. Bunter, if I sacked you right here and now, would you tell me what you think of me? No, my lord. You'd have a perfect right to, my Bunter, and if I sacked you on top of drinking the kind of coffee that you make, I'd deserve everything that you could give it me. You're a demon with coffee, Bunter, and I don't want to know how you do it, because I believe that you are using witchcraft, and I don't want to burn eternally. You can buy your cross-eyed lens. Well, thank you, my lord. Have you finished the dining room? Not quite. Well, come back to me, and I have many things to tell you. Hello? Who's that? The doorbell had rung. Unless it is anybody interesting, I'm not home. Very good, my lord. Lord Peter's library was one of the most beautiful and delightful bachelor rooms in London. Its scheme was in black and primrose, and the walls were lined with rare editions, and its chairs and Chesterfield sofa suggested the embraces of the Orris. And the one corner stood a black baby grand, and a wood fire heaped with wide old-fashioned hearth, and the Sauvet vases on the chimney piece were filled with gold chrysanthemums. To the eyes of the young man who had ushered in from the raw November fog, it seemed not only rare but unattainable, but friendly and familiar, like a colorful and gilded paradise in the medieval painting. "Mr. Parker, my lord." Lord Peter jumped up with genuine eagerness. "Oh, my dear man, I'm delighted to see you. What a beastly foggy night, ain't it? Bunter, some of your admirable coffee and another glass, and some of the cigars. Parker, I do hope you've come full of crime. Nothing less than arson or murder will do for us tonight. And on such a nice night as this, Bunter and I were just getting ready to carouse. I've got a Dante and a Caxton folio that are very unique, and Sir Randolph Rockberry's sale. Bunter, who did all the bargaining, is going to have a lens, which does all kinds of wonderful things and has eyes on the back of its head. And we both have a body in the bath. We both have a body in the bath. For in spite of all temptations to go to cheap sensations, we insist upon a body in the bath. Nothing less will do for us, Parker. It's mine at present, but it's going to be shared with all of us and the property of the firm. Won't you join us? You really must put something in the jackpot. Perhaps you have a body. Oh, do you have a body? Everybody's welcome. Gin a body, meat a body, hauled before the beak. Gin a body jolly well knows who murdered the body, and that old Sugg is in the wrong track. Need a body speak? Thank you for listening.